there's a lot of legitimacy with Bitcoin.
The cryptocurrency market may be in trouble because while we see the Bitcoin price is in free fall today from its all-time highs, we'll get to why in a second. The reason may shock you. Zooming out, this is actually a light dip in the sense that we've gone about 12% down from all-time highs. Dips are very normal in bull markets. We see looking at the current bull market, we dipped about 12% from all-time highs in this last week. From a local top to local bottom of our last dip was about 12%. The Liberation Day dip, which was one of the biggest shocks to crypto and really all markets in a very long time, was only a 31% correction. Do we think this dip is going to be worse than the shock of Liberation Day? I don't think it could be worse.
You own Bitcoin because you're frightened of your security in your country. You own Bitcoin because you're frightened of the debasement of your currency.
In fact, even during the times of peak uncertainty, the most uncertainty before the presidential election, the greatest dips Bitcoin was able to muster out was only 32%. And keep in mind, we can look at 30 different metrics, the most respected Bitcoin metrics, to indicate bull market peaks, aka when you want to sell near the top. 0 out of 30 are hitting. Literally 0 out of 30 market cycle top indicators have fired. But even more obvious, we still have the Clarity Act, aka the market structure bill, coming in October. And number 2, just in, the former White House crypto director Bo Hines, who has since left to work for Tether, says that he is confident the United States will buy more Bitcoin in 2025.
Like the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve has been signed into law through executive order. There's some infrastructure that's required in order to get things set up properly. And so I'm still very confident that the US government is going to be keenly interested on moving expeditiously on budget neutral ways to accumulate. So I'd tell people just to, keep their eyes and ears open for that news that eventually I'm sure will come. But Patrick's working on that, as I can imagine. The last time that we've been truly able to speak on digital asset issues was the day before I left, but I'm very confident in his abilities to perform and deliver for the industry. And look, the president obviously has been a steadfast leader in the space. He's made it vehemently clear that this is a major priority for him, and that includes the SBR. And then we also have the Digital Assets National Stockpile as well, which I think was really just our attempt to give credence to the other ecosystems and what's being built over there. We want to welcome innovation here in the US, and we want to make sure those other ecosystems continue to thrive and grow. But we'll see. And I certainly you could hang around and love to be a part of all of it. But I felt as if it's always good to bring a new set of eyeballs in every once in a while, have a fresh, clean look. I'd been in the weeds of this for over 8 months, and I'm super proud of everything we've accomplished and super thankful for the president and David for their support and their push through all of it. But, we have market structure on the horizon now. So I'll be, watching diligently, just like many of you, to see how this unfolds. But I'm confident they'll be able to bring that home as well. And you'll have 2 monumental pieces of crypto legislation signed into law this year, firmly cementing the United States' place as the crypto capital of the world.
These are very well-respected metrics. Bitcoin's MVRV Z-score, the 22-day RSI, Bitcoin's Pi cycle top indicator, all 30. It's not like they're saying there's maybe a 5% chance you should be selling now. There is 0 reason to sell, 100% reason to hold based on the 30 top indicators. This could very well be a local bottom, just like a 12% local bottom drawdown is what we've seen before. If it gets worse, if you think we're going to get worse, uncertainty of the likes of Liberation Day or just before the presidential election, a 31% correction from our all-time high would take Bitcoin down to just under $90,000 in the $80,000 range. You don't think the whales would scoop that up like crazy? I hope we get something like that, but 12% might have been it. I will share with you this just came out. Larry Fink, the BlackRock CEO, on record, that Bitcoin is unrivaled. I've become a believer. Here's why.
The view that there's a lot of legitimacy with Bitcoin. Certainly the technology around, the blockchain around Bitcoin was pretty unrivaled, and it still is. And I became a believer in a, not like it's going to be a currency, but right. I believe that there's a role for it like digital gold. And since most of BlackRock's business is based on long-termism, And I always raise the question, why would anybody invest in a 20 or 30-year outcome unless you believe the 20 or 30-year outcome is going to be good? Because if you didn't believe over a 20, 30-year horizon that that those long-term investments would be better, you would keep all your money in a bank account or in a mattress. And so, all our business is based on hope. And I said, you know what? Bitcoin is a currency of fear. You own Bitcoin because you're frightened of your security in your country. You own Bitcoin because you're frightened of the debasement of your currency.
I mean, Larry Fink is sounding like a supervillain almost, the way he's speaking. But he's not saying anything that Bitcoiners haven't said for years. If you believe in the government, if you believe things will get better with the monetary policy, then just hold dollars. If you believe the central banks and the government are going to continue to debase the dollar or all fiat currencies, then you want to hold Bitcoin. And we have proof that the dip is being bought in real time. This is a list as of yesterday. 14 companies, publicly traded companies, have increased their total positions this week, as well as over 4,300 Bitcoin have been added to the individual corporate treasuries. Why is this number significant? Well, you subscribe to Altcoin Daily for an edge investing in crypto. We will give you perspective, so click subscribe. It's completely free to do. It costs you nothing, but join this army and become an expert on crypto. Because why is this number important? Over 4,300 Bitcoin were scooped up by these institutions this week. Well, because only 450 new Bitcoins are mined per day, and you times that by 7, and the amount of new Bitcoin mined into existence each week is 3,150, compared to the Bitcoin that was scooped up this week is 4,330, meaning if price is going to dip lower, the only way that's going to happen is if existing holders choose to sell. That's actually the good thing about dips like this. The sellers get exhausted, the weak hands sell to strong hands, and scarce assets, if they have product market fit, if we're seeing adoption, scarce assets drive the weak holders out, and price will go up. Also, most people missed this, but it's not just Bitcoin, it's altcoins. This is probably referring to Ethereum or Solana maybe, but Secretary Howard Lutnick reveals his U.S. Department of Commerce will start issuing data and statistics on the blockchain.
Two more things. The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain because you are the crypto president, and we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain so people can use the blockchain for data distribution, and then we're going to make that available to the entire government so all of you can do it. We're just ironing out all the details so we can do it.
We know that JP Morgan, many years ago, chose to build their private chain on Ethereum. When they do something like this, it will probably be on a layer 2 of Ethereum, maybe a Solana. I'll keep you updated. Actually, maybe a Cardano. Well, just in. The SEC has delayed its decision on the grayscale Cardano ADA ETF, nothing we didn't expect, and the new deadline is October 26th. Like so many other altcoin ETFs, will have to be decided on in October.
Charles, you are right. The Fed will cut interest rates in September. Can you really see the future? They're going to cut it. And then we are going to get the Clarity Act, and then we're going to have the Giga Chad bull run.
So I personally think that, not that Bitcoin couldn't dip back down to 104, 102, always possible, but I think Bitcoin and really altcoins will rally into the market structure bill, just like, yes, we saw dips, but crypto rallied into the stable coin bill. Anybody trading and wants to follow along, I recommend exchange partner Wex, link down below. And if we're going, say you're bullish on ADA or you're bullish on, pro tip, choose coins with high 24-hour volume. So obviously Bitcoin and ETH and Solana, they'll all be good. If you're whether you're longing or shorting, if you want to short meme coins, if you're bearish on them, if you want to short a certain coin, I'd recommend looking for coins with at least a couple $1 million in 24-hour trading volume. These 200,000s, 100,000s, it's very hard to get in and out. For me personally, I am bullish on, let's just find it here. I'm bullish on ADA. And as you can see, millions of trading volume. Obviously, it's a major coin. And number one, make sure you take your leverage down to something that's manageable for you. And also, I like isolated versus cross, much safer for me. And say I think that ADA can at least get to the price that it was at the beginning of, or the end of last year, right before Trump got elected. I think conditions are so much better now for altcoins because of the regulation than they were 6+ months ago. I think ADA can at least hit $1.24 for safety. Maybe let's just say $1.21. But let's also be safe about it, saying we could see more volatility to the downside. In the meantime, I would like to long it at that price if we can retest, let's say right here, kind of where we are now, but these local highs or the structural support around 83 cents. So I'm going to take it to limit because I don't want to market to do anything now. If we get to a certain price, then I will feel comfortable longing. And we said about, well, for this, we'll take it down to, again, I always like to go a little over or a little under, depending on that support. So 83.99. If it can hit that price, I'm ready to go hard. 10,000 ADA. And then, of course, I want to take profits if we can come close to these local highs we saw about 6+ months ago. Take profit is going to be around 122. 122. Let's go 19999. That would be 135% return. Not too shabby. But of course, if things go horribly wrong, if we break these supports and we go much lower, I'm going to set my top loss at around 70. Let's go 2 cents. That would mean I would lose about half my position, but then I would recognize that the structure had changed and I'd reset to go later. You know what, actually 42%, let's change that to 76. Okay, a third of my position. Now we're going to confirm it. That's just me continuing my journey with money I'm willing to lose. But anybody that wants to follow along, WeX is doing a special promotion only with referral code Altcoin, where they will do a 100% position airdrop match. Meaning if you deposit $100, you get $100. If you deposit $10,000, you get $10,000 in a position airdrop. Limited time, link down below. And like always, see you tomorrow.